Good evening, folks. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Out here at Actuber right now, just going to grab some bait and try something new tonight. We're going to go out to Kuori Lake and see if we can have any success doing telescopic trolling out there. Hey, Canadian, how's it going? And those of you that are interested in doing some active fishing, this corner right down here, basically the intersection of, basically the northeast corner of G6, there's an algae spot that's decent if you're doing bottom fishing for buffalo. Not so great for telescopic bottom because there's a lot of weird divots in the depth there, but I was able to catch a few earlier. Let's go ahead and grab us some bait that we'll want to use to try to go after everything out there. We know we're going to want some more grasshoppers. Let's grab some, anything else would be good. Maybe some, yeah, probably not those. I think it's pretty much just the grasshoppers because we've got flies and everything else. I think we should be good with that stuff. Yeah, you can think of anything else that we might want to grab for out there? I know diving beetles are useful there, but I'm not going to pay gold for testing this out. Maybe some crickets would be good to bring. Grab a batch of those. I think that should be good. So let's go ahead and travel to Kuori. So I was originally wanting to do the archipelago, but appreciate the follow there, Turkey. Welcome to the stream and the channel. So I do still plan on going to archipelago to try some telescopic trolling there soon, but it's like 300 silver for the trip, the map, and a one-day boat ticket, and that's like half of my silver. So I want to get a couple hundred more silver before we make that trip. So maybe towards the end of the week we'll do that. And we are at a bit of a disadvantage here starting during daytime. But hey Fluke. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's see. Grab a one-day boat rental. We are starting at nighttime, which is unfortunate. Before I get in the boat, let me get all of my rigs set up here. Should we keep with a size 1 hook or should we downsize for this? I feel like a size 1, it's weird because like the lures are 1/0 and 2/0, but I feel like those are coded to work differently. I think maybe we go with like a size 4. We'll start with some fly and this red worm. Doesn't hurt. And go ahead and just use it since we're going to be trolling. We only really need to have one line set up, so that's fine. Sun's starting to come up, which is good. Anyone know of a particular hot spot for trolling routes right now? I haven't checked Kuori spots in quite a while. So let's get this set the depth to like 2 meters. Set to 1.5. Around the island. Alrighty. Roll in that direction. Yeah. Just start working our way there. We'll play around with different baits. I'm going to start with the worm and the fly. I might switch to a cricket and something else if they don't start picking stuff up with that. So there's no current here, and this is what I've learned when I was trying Ladoga Lake out with trolling. It definitely works better if there's a current, but it still will catch things even if there's not. So the island is somewhere in this direction. Way. There it is. Hard to see it this time of day. So we'll try just some spot casting, and then we'll drag it behind us a little bit. So the nice thing is that when it's dragging behind you, it will auto set the hook, much like trolling with a lure. The risk there, which it shouldn't be too much of a risk on this lake, but if you're somewhere like the archipelago as an example, where you can get some really big fish on there, there's a lot of added tension to the line or dragging it like this. So on a telescopic, that can be very risky. Got some baits at 121 and 93 next to the island. Okay. So around there. And actually, while we're at it, let me go and check the records here, just to get an idea of some of the baits people are using. Got caddisfly. There's grasshopper. So cricket and grasshoppers. Cricket and grasshopper seems like a good option. Maybe some mayfly, dung beetles. Okay, so a lot of different things out there. Maybe I should have gotten some of those cockchafers. But hey, Brenna, let's put let's change our bait houses. I didn't even see regular fly on any of those. Let's throw grasshopper and mayfly. Here we go. Now, if there's a current going, then you'll have the float drift even when you're in this standstill space, and that seems to help get bite rate a lot higher. But let's see what we can pull off with this. We'll try a couple laps around the island and then start going with like a full lake route to see if we can grab something if we don't have any luck. Where's everybody else fishing at today now the happy hour's just started up? And tonight's tea is a pomegranate black tea, which is still a little bit too warm to drink. Ah, Bear Lake going after some carp, are you? Come on, Trout, where you at? Nice. Grass and mirror trophy. That's very nice. There's some good trophies to get. Yeah, freaking Actuba, like I just don't like that body of water. I think there's just as we've talked about before, that's too big of a body of water with too many spots that are just not active. And also for float fishing, it's frustrating because with like that spot that the buffalo are active at, it's like there's a bunch of divots in the ground, so getting a decent depth setting is just really, really difficult to do there. Maybe we need to make this a little more shallow. Let's bring it down to 1 meter. So depending on what you're fishing for, obviously if you're going for bottom feeders like carp and things of that nature, you want it to be right above the bottom of the ground. Hey, Tara. What I'll usually do if I'm going for bottom feeders is I will find the depth by just setting the depth at like 4 meters or something along those lines, and just go up about 10 centimeters at a time. And for the bottom feeders, you want it to basically be, as soon as you find a spot where the float is just under, not flipping sideways, is going to be a good spot for you to go. But then for those shallow water fish where you want set just below the surface of the water, something you have to be like 2 meters below, stuff like that. So it just really depends on what you're fishing for. Posture check and hydration. All right, here we go. Straighten up here. Grab some water there. It's going well. Tara, how's it going on your end? I'm using up so much key here. Let's try. Let's switch the mayfly out for caddisfly. So I'm also curious on whether or not I need to downsize this hook even further. Good to hear. If you did catch any fish on those frogs, I bet it was in the water. All right, come on, fish. Where you at? Let's try. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and downsize this to a much smaller hook. Go with a size 12. Let's throw some mayfly larvae on, give it a shot, and regular fly again. We'll find the fish out here eventually. This is kind of what I was seeing at Ladoga Lake, is that while Tunguska and Aktuba and Seversky you can do pretty well with trolling with telescopic because of the current, the bite rate is noticeably lower when there's not one, so may struggle for a bit here, but if we can pick up like 1 or 2 decent trout, it'll be worth it. Could also actually go after some pike. I probably need to throw a leader on, but we'll try to avoid the pike spots over there in the cove. Come on, fish. So I have done trolling on Seversky, not with the telescopic. I only did it briefly, and I caught a couple fish, but usually if I'm at Seversky, I'm just fishing from the docks. But it does work to do telescopic there. The trouble with Seversky is that it's such a narrow river with all those bends that you're constantly having to readjust the boat, which on a telescopic, since you're having to kind of look back behind the boat, can be difficult because you'll end up running into the shore a lot. Try another spot out here. Shore a little bit there. I definitely wish more bodies of water had clear enough water that you could see all the way down like you can here. Let's see. Let's go into the deeper sections that are usually pretty active if you're using lures. Let's see what we can do out there. Come on, lake trout, brown trout, rainbow trout, any trout. I'll even take a Ventus at this point. Getting along into the deeper trails here. It could just be the bait. Let's see if let's take a look at the weekly bait, see if maybe they're active on something else than what we're using here. Brown trout going for that. Where's the lake trout out? That's what I want to see. Now we've got mayfly and cricket, grasshopper and cricket. Seems like cricket's really good for lake trout, so we'll switch the fly out to the cricket, and let's set a little bit deeper since we are in the deeper sections here. All right, let's go back and circle into this stretch here. So someone was having some good luck fishing from the shore with telescopic earlier today out here. I don't know what spot they were at. And as a general rule, trolling with telescopic is not like, it's not a very efficient way to do it. Even at like Tunguska, where it's fairly decent, you're still going to be better off just finding a decent spot and just casting 3 telescopics from shore. But doing this for a little bit of fun, if we can catch enough to make a little bit of a profit, then it'll be worth it. 82, 100. Okay, like out here somewhere. And keep trying the cast ahead option here, see if we have better luck. Fish. Well, Kuori telescopic trolling may be a bust. $9,200. Okay. We'll, I think that's on the island, if I'm something like that. So, possibly a bite there? No, look like it. Anything at all want to bite? Yeah, we'll try the trolling a little bit longer. If we don't catch anything, I'll switch over and fish from the shore just to at least get back the cost of the travel. I'm hoping we can get this to work out somewhere. It's possible maybe I need to keep it like super shallow. Try that. Bring it down to like a ½ meter depth. I'd already had some spinner rigs set up. I would throw some behind us just to get an idea of where things are biting in general. Do I have any? I guess I've got that one set up I can throw out. If we need to. So far has been very unfruitful. That's a 92, 100. Let's see. Where is that coming? 92 is here. Is it over on the shoreline? Nope, not that direction. $92. And I'd love to get a trophy quartz char. I would, at this point, I'll even take a bleak, something. But hey, this is why we experiment to find out what does and doesn't work. And right now it's looking like tele trolling does not work on Kuori. Or at least not very well. Any other options I can try here? I figured by now we would have at the very least gotten a Vindus to hit since we've got the Mayfly larva on. I'm gonna go ahead and put a spinner line now just to get an idea of if we get to a spot that's active. I closed that reel. Good thing I checked. Alright, so if we see that get a strike, then we'll try and focus on wherever it gets a hit. Right here, okay. So, in this region, alright. It is a simple, okay, well, that's a decent trout to pull up right there. So if that's the case, let's, down here. Yeah, I guess it would have hit right about this area. So before we go trolling, let's try just holding the line in the water for a bit. Okay, well, it looks like it's already getting the bite. We've got a Vindus, our old friend Vindus. So if we can confirm a spot's particularly active, then we'll just troll around in circles on that spot to find out for sure whether or not the trolling is going to work on this lake. There's a lake trout. It's also possible that maybe the fish here are more sensitive to engine sound, and with telescopic, we don't really have the luxury of casting 18 meters away from the boat to avoid that sound threshold. So that could be a factor. That's one thing I noticed at Tunguska. If I'm fishing from the shore on Tunguska, I can catch a lot of broad whitefish. But if I'm trolling, I catch barely any of them. So it does seem like, maybe like the broad whitefish as an example, seems like a species that is sensitive to the noise. Yeah, Sura may work. I do need to do a first-time Sura trip at some point still. Seems like this spot is decent though. See if we can pull something good out of the water here. There's a roach. Catch a couple more fish like this, and then we'll troll around in circles to see if it ends up working that way. That looks like another Vindus, I think. Oh, a pellet, okay. And see, pellet I know aren't sensitive to the engine sound, at least not at Tunguska. So let's try to pull this one, and I forgot to start the trolling motor. We'll catch one more fish, and we'll try trolling around in this spot and see if something works. Vindus, and just remind us, this is basically this little hole right here. Okay. Start the engine. Know that they're biting at this spot. Will they bite with the engine sound and moving float? So in this case, it's not even the float's really not moving much and still not getting hit. So I'm thinking it's the engine sound that's causing it to be a problem here. It actually makes me wonder if there is a coded difference in the engine sound between these rubberized boats and the little tin can boats, because in Tunguska, I always take the tin can boat out bowling. I did the same when I was at Ladoga Lake. Let's see, turn the engine off. If something bites now. Anything? If we recast the same spot. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Not facing the right, so I guess I was I guess I moved more than I thought I did. Right over here. Be right around in that spot. This is also a good demonstration of how big a difference an active spot versus inactive spot makes in this game. You see, throwing it on that active spot, it's almost immediately something hits. Now what I want to try is, well, I guess I can't start the trolling motor while I've got the line cast out, unfortunately. Missed that one. Does anybody have a few dung beetle and cockchafer beetles that they can send over? Let's see if we can try and target the specific trout species with those. I didn't think that they would be active here, so I didn't pick any up. Apparently they are. All right, appreciate that, CW. We'll swap the mayfly larva out here. I got some dung beetles from Canadian that should be good enough to give it a shot here, since supposedly the trout like those. Might be able to allow us to target trout over Vindus. Seems like maybe this spot is more of a morning spot. Definitely slowed down from where it was a few minutes ago. I cast a little further to the left here. Right in the weeds base, right after the bridge. Is there a bridge here? Oh, up here, okay. Try that. So you can grab one more spot here. Be careful with the trout up in that area, but yeah, see if we can catch one more right here and I'll head up towards that waterfall. So now I guess I wonder if it was the mayfly that they were going after and not the cricket. Just before we go, let me try that out just to see. Nope, I guess it's just that that spot's not active in the afternoon. Let's get the trolling. Head towards that waterfall. As they say, don't go chasing waterfalls, but that's exactly what we're doing. Maybe we'll get lucky and catch something along the way. Let's go put the mayfly back on. So I did see some people catching taimen and pink salmon records, weekly records earlier, which makes me wonder where the active spots were, if they were just getting lucky or if they actually found a target spot. I know the guy that got the 30 kilo taimen the other day, I messaged, and it just happened to, he snagged it on his line as soon as he left the dock, so I think it was just a luck thing. Active spot for it. Still keeping my eye out for active pink salmon areas to try our luck with it. Going up there to that waterfall. And I imagine we could probably throw a leader on and use pieces of fish and catch some pike along here as well. But I'm definitely thinking that the engine noise is probably the issue here. All right, let's get up on that bridge. All right, I'm going to set this real shallow. All right. That didn't work. Again. There we go. Okay, so there's an invisible wall right here. Can't get any closer than that. Let's see, let's get another. Let's put all 3 tellies out there. Throw some cricket and grasshopper. Will we catch anything here? Who knows? Only one way to find out. Right. We are the telescopic mythbusters here. Now let's put red worm and mayfly. Hook sizes may be an issue as well. I don't know. See how it goes. This is where we're going to catch our blue tag Greenland shark, right in this waterfall. Destiny. I'm wondering now, can I set these deeper actually? Let me pull this one up and set it to like start here. Touching bottom. So it is touching bottom there, it seems. It is ironic that it doesn't register that there's a current here. Okay, that seems to work. Now we wait. In fact, just to ensure that it's not like super tiny fish that are here, let's throw a size 24 hook on. Some caddisfly and a fly. This will be our control line here. Give us something between large and tiny. We go. Come on, fish. Give us the magical waterfly fish that really exist. We're gonna catch a mermaid or something here, right? spice things up a bit with a cobra. That'll get everything out to go for our hooks, surely. I also wonder if you can if you can spin a lure up through there. I'm gonna do some more experimenting here while those do their thing. Let's since this looks very, very shallow, let's see if it registers depth in a correct way. So that's acting like it's not on the bottom. Appreciate the follow there, Pyro Demon. Welcome to the stream. All right, so that's acting like it's not touching the bottom. Let's increase the depth. A nice little short cast here. So it's registering depth somewhat properly, it looks like, but I don't know, I think that's like sticking through the ground. Moving on those. Doesn't look like it. So, can we catch something here or not? That is the question. Let's try something else here while those are still in the water. Can you reel a line in through that? Appreciate the follow there, Slice Spam. Welcome to the stream. We're just doing some myth busting here to test things out on this lake. So far, trolling with the telescopic was not working out too well here. I think it's the engine sound. Now I am trying to confirm whether or not you can actually catch something up in this waterfall area. I'm not getting the touching bottom notification, which makes me suspect that it's not counting correctly. Could do like a full strength cast into that. Well, while the floats do sit out there, been no action, so I'm going to say that this section of water probably doesn't work. But what about where it immediately becomes standing water? Try that. Right into the boat. Oops. Telescopic, the one line where you may actually want to use the casting control power, where you're holding control to do a short cast. Alright, so I can actually see the hooks here on this setup, so the line coming out of that one. Am I blind? I don't see one coming out of that one. That's weird. Nothing. So far, we did find this spot here worked. So the weed bay. So you're talking about like the these sections of weeds out here. I appreciate spam. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out all sorts of ways to use telescopic rods as they were not intended. And I've actually found if you troll with telescopic on Tunguska, it works really well. You're still better off if you've got 3 telescopics fishing from the shore overall, but I can still catch about 1 to 2 fish a minute trolling out there with the telescopic, which is really fun. But let's see, let's take the boat out to this reed bay and try a couple things out there. And shores. It's a little more to the right, you say? All right, let's see. So like right around in here. I haven't tried the Pond of Norway. I've got one more free trip to or I should say free, one more gold trip to Norway, which I'll probably do when I hit level 31. Help me get through that level a little bit quicker. And I'll definitely try the pond out there. Since I know pike can bite here, I want to try something as well, because I haven't caught pike on telescopic yet. So let's throw a nice size 1 on here with a strong leader and put some pieces of fish with Nightcrawler. This is probably, we can probably get away with 80 centimeter depth. Didn't work. I noticed like some bait combinations affect casting in a really weird way. What in the world? What are you doing to me here, Pole? I'm getting caught up inside the boat. There we go. Need a stronger float on here, so let's just move to this one that's already got a stronger float. Another size 1 hook on with fish and Nightcrawler. All right, come on out, pike. I forgot the leader. That was almost disastrous. Hydrate. Alrighty. Cheers. So that was on, not you. You. I've got one of these leaders, so I gotta remove it from the other line first. Go. Okay, it must be the leader that's causing this to flunk on cast. Yeah, I think it's like causing the leader's making it like stick in the boat or even throw it. Well, let's try this then. Roll. And do that. We'll just drag the float where we want it to be. That'll do. We'll give this a minute. If it doesn't work, then we'll try to salvage things with a little bit of a rolling out at Tunguska so we can catch a couple things. Foster check. All right. Slouching too much. Come on, Pike. Wake up. Nothing. So what we got so far in our keeping it, what we got, I mean, we did get the Savon trout, and we got a couple Vendus, a lake trout, nothing special. Thinking it may be time to call trolling here on Kuori with the telescopic ineffective. But let's give it one more lap, just for good measure. Switch over to 3. We'll boat back towards the docks, see if it works. If it doesn't, then we'll call it a bust. It's also possible that it could just be an off day on Kuori, but I'm thinking that the boat sound is causing it to be an issue, because we saw with that one spot we were actually getting some back-to-back hits. As soon as we cut the engine on without even moving the bait, the bite rate just stopped. So I think that may be the biggest factor here. May have to come back when I can confirm some active spots out here with some different baits. Let's go over here where we did catch some fish earlier. Size hook do I have on here? This is a size 1, okay. Mayfly with crickets. Right about here. And actually blow the depth a little bit as well. Two. Yep. This spot does work still. If maybe the size 1 helps us target bigger trout that way. Missed that one. I'd like to be able to go after the char at the bottom of the 15-meter hole, but telescopic, you can only get to maximum of 5.2-meter depth. Nothing. Try again. I'm thinking probably size 1 hook's going to kill the bite rate, but we'll give it another minute and then try just doing a quick roll to the docks. I'm leaning towards saying that trolling doesn't work on Kuori though, but it is entirely possible that it's just a not a good day for the map for this, but the mere fact that that one spot we were getting lots of bites back to back, but then as soon as I tried turning the engine on, nothing was hitting. Really leads me to believe that this one just isn't going to work, unfortunately. I do want to try that waterfall some more at some point, but I think that's one of those spots where I'm going to have to just sit there for like 2 hours and see if something hits, which doesn't make for the best stream. Nothing. Well, let's go see if we at least made enough to pay for our boat ticket. I think we can call this experiment more or less unsuccessful. I mean, we did find a random spot where float was working in the middle of nowhere, but trolling caught nothing. CW, you planning to kick a stream on at the end of this one? We made just enough to make back the cost of the boat, at least. Grab some bait here. All right, yeah, if you want to go ahead and kick that up and let me know when you're ready, we'll go ahead and start wrapping things up, and I can raid your stream and probably call the Kuori Tele trolling experiment a bust for now. But I'll try it again at some point to see if I can make it work on a day where I know the area is active. And if it does work again, I'll do another stream. But we'll plan off camera. I'm going to try to get a little bit more silver and try to do either Archipelago or Sura tomorrow night after, so we can do our first trip there. I'm a little weary about jumping into Archipelago quickly, just because again it's like half of my silver, and if it works out like this one has, then that's a lot of that's a painful loss right there. I would imagine it should act more like Ladoga Lake, which I was able to catch a few fish trolling with the telescopic there, but it's nothing like Tunguska's been, so definitely has me a little worried. I know with Sura, at least if the trolling doesn't work, then I can go to shore and catch some wild carp and things of that nature. But let's is there a spot nearby we could kind of catch into a few last casts on? Let's just throw out like right here. Let's see if we can't catch something. Some random thing. You said you're good to go, Canadian? All right, so all right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here since the trolling did not work, but that's what we're here to try out. Able to prove that it was not working on this lake, but we'll do some more. I'll probably do Tunguska trolling tomorrow night just to reinvigorate faith in telescopic trolling, because it is fun and it does work in some places. Kuori just may not be a map that it does. I'll keep trying it, but wrap these up here, and I hope everyone has a good night and good day for those of you over in Europe. And I'm going to close things up, but we're going to start a new trend here. First time trying it tonight. Canadian's got his stream, so when I wrap things up here, I'm going to go ahead and raid his channel. So if you stick around, it'll take me about 30 seconds or so to wrap things up here. It'll go ahead and move you over to his. So with that said, I will catch everyone next time. Take it easy, folks.